gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a live stream tonight. Rather than the normal videos, I decided there wasn't too much else to top up on that was worth a video, that was worth the boredom of a video. I decided the great people, the great subscribers of the Ryan118 channel can help spice things up a bit tonight. We can get your questions, your point of views, your opinions across as we discuss everything that is currently going on at Celtic Football Club. Of course, there's been a few stories through the week, which we have touched on in different videos on the last live stream we done on Sunday evening as well. So it's time for a catch-up since then. And we've got a couple of stories on top of the news that we spoke about in yesterday's video. So we've got a hell of a lot to carry through the next half an hour. Add all of that in to hopefully the questions that you guys give me to guide me through this. Then we should be in for a good one, because it's always fun doing these live streams. So good evening, hello, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It'd be appreciated if you could particularly go down below and smash the like button, because that helps get the content out there to even more people. The stream on Sunday night done absolutely tremendous, so I can't thank you enough for the support on that one. Shall we get into the news for today? Hello to everybody. Hello to Cal, who I'm sure tonight's live stream will particularly devastate through his love of O. But it looks as though O is definitely leaving the club, and we have the answer to the question we asked yesterday in the video at the end of the O segment, where I spoke about the interest from Belgian side Genk. I asked the big question: will there be a conversation surrounding it being a permanent deal or a loan deal? In what capacity will O leave the club? Well, today, this morning, and through the evening as well, we have found out the answer to that question, as it looks set to be a permanent transfer that O will leave the club on, pending negotiations. Of course, depends how Celtic react to said offer. Let's have a look at the first headline that came out this morning, shall we? And then we'll get into the most recent update. But this was the headlines that broke this morning in the tabloids, that the transfer fee had been revealed as Celtic set to bank a profit on O. The article was saying that Genk are trying to strike a £3.5 million plus deal to sign O from Celtic. Of course, this follows on from the news that came out a couple of days ago surrounding his potential departure from the club, which means Celtic are set to make profit. So I'm surprised, but it is business. It's a young striker we're talking about here who definitely does have potential. It just doesn't look as though that potential is going to be tapped into at Celtic Football Club. The place in the squad has obviously disappeared for O in recent times, and Celtic probably are best cashing in on what they can now before, we just run a contract down and also diminish his chances of, succeeding at professional football. So that was the first article that came out today surrounding O, that the fee was going to be at least £3.5 million plus add-ons. However, since then, I'll bring up the next supporting document that we need to have a look at. This was a report that came out of Belgium itself, of course, where Genk are from and where the club is interested. It came out from journalist Sasha Tavoleri. It came out from him anyway, who is a reporter over in Belgium. It said that Genk are very confident that they will sign O. An agreement for personal terms has been agreed already with the club and the player. Celtic and Genk are set to close the deal at €5 million plus, which I'm assuming will be the add-ons that come on top of it, including a future sell-on fee perhaps, maybe instalments of a certain kind, a certain fee after an amount of goals or appearances. Most definitely, I would imagine Celtic are trying their best to wangle in a sell-on clause, as they do with most young talents that they move on. So that means that this looks as though it's a green light. It looks as though O is away. It is, as Cal said at the start of the stream, it looks to be over for O, if you pardon the pun. So a permanent transfer is what it's looking like. €5 million works out roughly at £4.5 million, which is a £2 million profit, or £4 million. I think let me get the exact currency. Euros to GBP. Let's get the exact figure we're talking here when we look at 5 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4.2 million pounds. And there's Voice Tech. We'll get to you in a moment, Voice Tech. Thank you very much. So £4.2 million looks to be the fee that Celtic will get, plus add-ons for O moving, which is a almost £2 million profit on the player. And what has to be said about that is the fact that £2 million, almost £2 million, for a guy who's not really hit the ground running at Celtic, for somebody who hasn't maybe proven the worth of the money we spent on him, is good business by the club at the end of the day. There's not much else that they can do to try and command more money out of this move for Owen, the move to Belgium. I think £4.2 million is an incredibly generous fee, to be quite honest, considering this is a guy that didn't play any football. He wasn't featured once for Celtic in the last 4 months of the season. So this is a guy that's not played football in 4 months, and somehow we're making profit and making £4.2 million on him. And it comes, and I think that it doesn't come as too much of a surprise, because there's definitely talent there. There's definitely ability in O, and I think we've seen glimpses of that. It's just not materialised into the opportunities for him that maybe he needed to really present himself across as the striker he could have been. And the thing is, for me, and I've tried my best not to be too harsh on O, I've tried my best to be as understanding as possible and not go in too hard. But at the end of the day, Adam Ida came in January, and with opportunities that were scarce, coming on sometimes with 10, 20 minutes in a game, he scored goals. And ultimately, O wasn't doing the same when he was given those opportunities under Ange Postecoglou and then later Brendan Rodgers. So he has had the chances in there. And people might argue that he deserves more. There's probably some good in him, but personally, I've not been his biggest fan. I think it was right that we moved him on. I think this is the right time. I think this is the right opportunity for Celtic to take money while it's there. And I wish him all the best with his future should the move fully materialise. Of course, right now, we've still got to wait on the final negotiations between the two clubs. But if the Belgian journalist Sasha Tavaleri is to be believed, personal agreements have been confirmed between both parties, between O and Genk, which means it's only a matter of time, I think, before we get the full-on announcement that O will depart Celtic Football Club. So I wish him the best, of course. But we'll get some of your opinions in a moment. Just want to bring up Voice Tech's comment because he has donated. Thank you very much, Voice Tech. It's nice to see you, as always, saying, "Hi Ryan, maybe I will be a little harsh, but if Celtic sell O for $2.5 million, Sparta Prague shouldn't sell Vindal under $5 to $6 million. What do you think?" I couldn't argue your theory behind it, Voice Tech. I could not, because by all accounts, Vindal sounds like a good keeper. And Vindal is somebody who's been playing week in, week out, and a key figure in a Czech league winning side and a Czech Cup winning side. He won a double, and he's the starting keeper, and he's playing week in, week out. So if Celtic are getting a fee of €5 million, then surely that equates to Peter Vindal being worth more money, because he should be worth more to Sparta Prague than what O is worth to Celtic. So absolutely, there's no flaws in your thinking there, Vindal. Voice Tech, calling you Vindal now. There's no flaws at all. So I get entirely what you're saying. Thank you for the donation. Let's get some comments surrounding O, shall we? We've also got Ian, by the way. Thank you very much, Ian. I do appreciate it. Donating the £5, saying, "Hi Ryan, I think selling O will be a good bit of business." I think so. Look, listen, and I know some people have been banking on O coming good, and I know some people have maybe had this feeling deep down that somewhere in there O has something to offer, and one day we might get it. But are we really? Because he's not getting in the team over Kyogo anytime soon. He's not getting in the team over Adam Ida if we sign him permanently. So what would be the point? You've got to ask that question first and foremost. What is the point in keeping someone around for them just not to get opportunities? His place in the pecking order is very, very clear. And whether you like him or not, or you want him to succeed or not, you've got to take that side of it out of the equation. You've got to take personal bias out of the equation when you're talking strictly business. Celtic won't get another opportunity like this, I think, to sell him and make their money back, because the years in his contract will wind down. His chances at Celtic will just be getting thinner and thinner. His time here will create less opportunity, which means less goals, which means the value of the player ultimately drops. Celtic are not going to make £4.2 million on O if they waited one more year. The only way they possibly could is if they were to loan him out. And I just don't see a point in it. I don't see the point in loaning him out to land us in the same kind of situation. We may as well just cut ties here and get it over with. That's just my opinion. You might not agree, but I think, as Ian says, it's good business by the club to take the money and take the profit right now while they can. Because what if we did loan him out and he didn't do well? Then that's money gone again. This is a good opportunity for the club, I think, to take the money. Let's get some opinions, though, before we move on to the next subject and before we get to the Q&A. Josh said, is still a young man, would be a good move for his career whilst we make a profit. That can help fund the move for Ida, ideal for all parties involved. Very well put, Josh. I couldn't agree more. That's a very good point. Not exactly the end of a great Celtic player, but the end of a decent servant. I'll miss O. Absolutely. Look, he's given it his all. And that's one thing I think we can all credit O for in his time here at Celtic, that he's always tried and he's always given it his all when he has had his opportunities. And his opportunities have been few and far between. But he's never thrown his toys at the pram. We've never heard stories of unrest. We've never heard any negatives about him. We've always heard good things about him. And he seems like he got on really well with the squad. So I'll wish him the best. That's to be said. Luke says, I think that O is a great striker and gave us a different figure up top when Ida wasn't with us. Yeah, I guess, but the thing for me was he just never grasped that opportunity maybe as much as we wanted him to. Those times he did come on the park and he didn't get the goals that maybe an Ida did or a Giacomakis did when he was here. I feel he's been very unfortunate. He's been stuck in that sandwich between two strikers who've been greatly loved now by Celtic fans, Giacomakis and then Ida. He's been sandwiched in the middle and he's just not delivered to the expectations and to the levels that the two above him and below him in that sandwich have delivered in their respective Celtic careers. So it has been difficult for him. Stephen says, I feel like O has been hard done by at Celtic. He's a young player who has potential, and I personally feel like when Brendan Rodgers came in, O got pushed to the side. Well, you could say that, but he found his man and Ida, didn't he? I do understand where you're coming from, though. It does almost feel like he was kind of pushed to the side. David saying he was a good trier, no harm to the guy. I'm delighted for him. He absolutely tried. No way I can deny that, sorry. That's what I meant to say. I didn't mean to say no way, as if he wasn't. Let's see, what else? David also saying, the same David saying, we're quick to destroy our players when they leave. To destroy our players when they leave. Oh, I'm delighted for him. Respect forever part of the Celtic family. Who knows, maybe it's somebody that'll go and kick on with his career and, Celtic could go back in again one day. You never know. And then we'll end off here on the O conversation for now with Messi hit saying, hopefully there's a good sell-on clause. He will play better for a team that can run in behind instead of playing against low blocks constantly. I think that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to see is how he actually does moving on from Celtic. Of course, Scotland isn't an easy league to come and play in. You're playing against nasty opponents, and I don't just mean nasty, tackling or brutalising the attacking players. What I mean by that is, you're playing against teams who are very, very defensive and they nullify opportunities as much as they can, which maybe hasn't suited O. Maybe O needs that more open field of play, as you said, getting in behind players, which is much harder to do when you're playing, a Ross County or a St Mirren who might be playing a low block. So I'm excited to see how he does in his post-Celtic career. Hopefully there is a good sell-on, because if he goes to Belgium and he bags goals, you never know. This is somebody that could maybe move on to another club for a fee much higher than £4 or £5 million. Maybe get into the the 7 figures, the 8 figures, and really deliver. So it would be good if Celtic could obviously capitalise on that. So that's all. It looks as though he will be leaving. Just to recap, in case you did join the stream late, by the way, we have over 300 live viewers at the minute. Thank you very much for the support, ladies and gents. Once again, can I urge, if you haven't already, to drop down, hit like and subscribe. You can also donate to get involved and prioritise your comments if you choose to, but I would never beg for it. Anyway, just to recap, personal terms have been agreed. I'll bring up the tweet one more time and then we can move on to the next topic. Shall we do that? Just so that you can see what you missed if you weren't in early enough. The reporters in Belgium are suggesting that O has agreed his personal terms for a long-term contract with Belgian side Genk. They want to close the deal at €5 million, which equates to roughly £4.2 million, which will include bonuses as well, which I imagine will be a sell-on clause. We'll get more of those details when the deal is finalised, but for now, that seems to be the case. That seems to be happening, and it looks as though O will be leaving the club. So that's the O story for today. Before we get into the Q&A, there was also a brief bit of news this morning that came out around Celtic submitting a proposal for a new standing section at Celtic Park, which would be located in the southwest, southwest corner God. In the southwest corner, currently where the boys are situated in Celtic Park, to turn that into a standing section to accommodate the group that are known as boys, of course, and obviously a section that would raise the standing capacity in the stadium roughly by around 450 seats, I believe. So this was, and I hate giving any sort of shout out to the publication we've got to talk about here, but it's the only people who actually did report on it in the mainstream this morning, saying that Celtic had launched a proposal for the new standing section at Celtic Park as they aim to transform Parkhead. The article goes on to say that following on from 2016, Celtic are looking to give fans further excitement by proposing plans to add a second area of rail seating, with an application already submitted to the Glasgow City Council. Green Brigade occupy the current standing area in the north-east corner, and obviously now they want to go across to the southwest corner to add in to the boys section having their own area. Is it one step closer to the Celtic end? I don't know. But in the planning permission application, 455 seats have been requested to be ditched in order to make way for new plans. So they would be ripping up 455 of the current seats down there and replacing it with just over 400 spaces for a standing section. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it's something that should be done. We're going to go and have a look. The council have yet to make their plans, yet to make their decision. But if you do go over to the Glasgow City Council website, which I'll do right now, you can go and have a nosy and you can go and have a look at the application, which has now been made public on the Glasgow City Council website for this second standing section. As you can see, replacing existing seats with safe standing rail seatings in the southwest corner, the total number of seats would be 455, and then obviously the dates in which the applications were submitted, which was back in February of 2024. And it's pending consideration, as you can see. I don't know if you click through all of these, you might get more. I don't want to end up getting, I don't know, police at my door for doing my nose around the council website. But basically, there you go. That's what you need to know. This is who they want to build it and all that. All that kind of detailing that doesn't really matter to us. But this is basically the information that we have thus far in regards to this new standing section, which I think is a great idea. Now, just keep on a note right now that this second standing section won't be completed anytime soon. The fact that season ticket sales have already taken place for the upcoming 2024-25 campaign means that this standing section won't be present at Celtic Park till at least the summer of 2025. So it would probably be moving into the 2025-2026 campaign that we would actually see this standing section be rolled out at the stadium. But I think it's a great idea. I think it's something that brings life to the other end of the stadium as well, because we all know that sometimes, audio doesn't travel all too well from areas. And yeah, it's just, I think they should have it. And if we ever want that Celtic way, Celtic end thing to kind of take up and over at that end of the stadium, I think it starts with that southwest corner and then branches its way around. It's a nightmare for that grand plan ever to actually work, but it's definitely doable in years to come maybe. So the standing section has been submitted. And we'll see what happens if the council give them permission. I can't imagine a world in which the council reject the application, considering Celtic already have a standing section, and considering that one works fine and it's been proven to work fine, apart from the odd instance. I don't imagine a world in which they say no. I mean, it's Celtic Stadium. It's not exactly doing anything to the outside. So hopefully we get the approval on that soon and we can see that starting from next season. We've got a few people commenting saying that I love the idea of building another standing section at Celtic Park, but if we want to get that serious atmosphere back, that we need the Celtic end. Absolutely, I agree. I would love that. I think that's obviously the way to go if we can get that. Celtic fan says we seriously need to upgrade both the capacity and the modernity of Celtic Park. If you look around Europe, almost every stadium is more up to date than Celtic Park. We need the Celtic end. I 100% agree. I've been to some magnificent stadiums around the continent and obviously most recently in Philadelphia as well. And a lot of them are starting to put Celtic Park to shame. Don't get me wrong, I love Paradise. I love Parkhead. It's my favourite stadium in the world. It is over time becoming seriously more dated, and it's needing some facelifts in certain areas. It's needing an upgrade in its infrastructure. and different aspects of the ground, because it's getting left in the dirt. In the dust, not the dirt. It's getting left in the dust by a lot of these modern stadiums, and Celtic certainly have the money to make some improvements to the ground. So I think that they definitely should look into that. It's just a matter of, will they do it, or can they be bothered doing it? Can they be bothered spending the money on doing it? But I absolutely agree. Let's go for word.conflict. We'll get into the Q&A in a moment. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening out to the first part. We'll get moving on in a minute. £2, word.conflict saying Mon Celtic, Scotland and Brecon City. It's a trio I never expected to hear, but I love it. Thank you for the donation, and Mon Celtic. And then Jordan Eason with the $4.99 saying, some calves towards McCarthy's and Mikey J's taxis. Is calves some? Is that a slang term for money? I have never heard calves being used, Jordan. Is this like a West Coast thing, or sort of an East Coast thing or something? I've never heard the term calves. But thank you, and I will be sure to put it towards the taxi for the €2. Thank you for coming in, Stephen. I appreciate it. There you go. Damn, meant cash. Right? I was confused. I was like, it's like Mike Tyson trying to say cash. Kev. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm glad that I understand now. I was very, very confused. So there you go. That's basically your news update for today in regards to Celtic. We've had the news on we've had the news on this standing section, and aside from that, we've not really had anything else. There's nothing of significance. There hasn't really been any update as well as to the situation with Peter Vindal Jensen or the Austrian centre-half who we're linked with. There's nothing else on top of what we already know, but don't worry, as soon as there is, you know where to come for it, right here, and I will provide all the updates that I possibly can. Right, shall we get into the Q&A section of the show then, because that's what you all come for on these weekly live streams. It's the best part. It's where you guys get involved. Let's do it, shall we? First up, we have Stephen, who's found my channel for the first time in years. He was saying, asking, did I steal Dembele's shirt from him personally? No, I wish I could have, and I wish I did, but it's I got it for the Celtic store. It was in the Celtic. I went down with my dad one day. I was 16 at the time, and they obviously have the section with all the sign gear, and they had Dembele's shirt, and I think it was something like £100, and I was like, can I get that for my Christmas, please? And I got it for my Christmas. So I wish that I stole it off him, but I didn't. Please, can we talk about the buyback scheme for season ticket holders that can't make games, where the rest of the millions of supporters are locked out and we see empty seats? Hearts do it. Do Hearts do it? I never knew that Hearts done it. But Celtic should do it. I think it's a very smart idea. I think it's an idea that we should look into the logistics surrounding it. Once again, like I said with other things at the club, they aren't always easy to get around and to do perfectly, and there would be teething issues, I assume, but they should have a system where if a season ticket holder can't make it to the game, they can declare that and they can put out match day tickets for those said seats. It would be the smart thing to do. But ho-hum, will they ever do it? I probably doubt it, because it's too much work for Celtic to do. Any updates on Ida? Nothing. Apart from, I didn't report on the channel about the update the other day surrounding Ida's comments. Ida said he doesn't know what's going to happen, but of course he doesn't know what's going to happen. It's not up to him. That's the only thing we know right now is Rodgers wants the move. The club apparently want the move, and Ida wants the move. Negotiations with Norwich are yet to publicly be known to kick off. I imagine they are underway. If I was to give you any sort of inkling, I would say that they will be underway behind the scenes. I can't confirm or deny that though, and we don't know anything about publicly known negotiations starting yet. But no more updates on top of what we already know, really, to be quite honest. So I'm sorry to be disappointing with it, but I've heard nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm sure we'll try and get underway sometime soon. I hope the Celtic directors are listening. Yes, get him on. There's Desmond. Get him on the pod. I'll interview him. I'll stick the hard questions to him. Let's see. Yeah, I see a lot of people agree with the ticket scheme. Who won a ladder match between me and McGinley? I was going to be a bit rude, but I don't know if McGinley could reach the briefcase. It's terrible. I can't say McGinley. I'm sorry. God, he's not even here, and I'm mucking off his height, which is shocking, isn't it? Absolutely shocking. But absolutely me, I would leave no mercy. He would be battered over the back with a ladder a million fucking times till he bled. Thank you. Hope nobody sends this clip to him. Am I right in saying Celtic have a system where if you give your season ticket to someone else and you're caught, you can get a ban? I think so. Technically, yes, but the stewards at Celtic Park, I've never personally come across a steward who is that bad. Personally, but I think technically it's written in the small print that that is the case. Emma, that sounds delicious. I hope you're enjoying. I will be looking for the report back on it soon. Thanks very much. And thanks for making me jealous. Not going to lie, my dinner didn't come out well. let's leave. I'm not getting into the digestive system comments, but I hope you're enjoying the macaroni. Thanks very much. Let's see. Norwich have confirmed nothing to my knowledge. I don't know where you have seen this, but Norwich have confirmed nothing in regards to a figure. As far as I am aware, nothing's been said on an official figure yet. £8 million is... I don't know where you've heard it, but I'm just saying that I don't think that's the case. If you've heard it from your own private source, fair enough, you can choose to believe it, but I've heard nothing in regards to a fee or anything like that. Did I enjoy my time at uni? Yes, I did, actually. You're going to GC, you're doing the course. If you're familiar with Kieran from the podcast, he's just graduated. He's not even here. Congratulations to Kieran Auld, by the way, who has graduated. He got his degree. So a round of applause for Kieran Auld. He's currently in Greece, so he won't fucking hear the applause. Him and the missus are enjoying their holiday. But he's just completed the exact same course. Strap yourself in, because it can be quite tough, Josh, I will say. It's much tougher than what my course was, put it that way. No, it got thrown out. The council didn't allow them. And it's never been touched upon since. I always wondered whatever happened with it, and then I finally found out that the council binned the plans. Don't know why. It would have added so much more to the area. It was a good idea, and the council said no to it. So I don't know if they'll ever revisit the plans, but it's not looking like it'll ever happen. I wanted to, Aaron, I really did, but I left it far too late this year. Where I take Iheanacho on a free if we don't sign either. I don't know. I don't know how he's performed in the last couple of years, to be honest. And I know he's a name and people know who he is, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the right signing. I personally would avoid, because I don't think he's been great for a few years now, Iheanacho. Somebody who I would have taken in a heartbeat back in 2018, but now I'm not so sure about that. Have you ever considered the idea of a match day vlog from time to time? Absolutely not for me. Not for me at all. I'm not a match day vlogger. Never will be a match day vlogger. And I would like. I'm not slagging off anybody who does it, or anybody watching the stream. If you want to go and match day vlog, go and do it. Don't let anybody tell you what you can or can't do. I'm a big advocate for trying to be as creative as you like and do what you like. I was told I couldn't do YouTube and shouldn't do YouTube, and look, it's my fucking job now. So I would never tell anybody what not to do. But I think matchday vlogging is one of the hardest forms of content to consume. Put it that way. I'm not a big matchday vlog fan. And people might remember that back in the day I used to do matchday vlogs. It wasn't matchday vlogs, it was me filming the chants. Like, I wasn't turning the camera around and going, 4-0 Celtic, I can't believe it. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing that. So no, it's not for me, sadly, Ronan, not for me. But if you want to do it and you think you're good at it, fire on. That's what I would say. I should do Scotland match reactions. I won't even be watching the game tomorrow night. I'm at SmackDown. So, any update? Nothing on O'Reilly yet. The only thing that's been added in, Lindsay, about O'Reilly is the fact there's a few more teams looking at him now. Apparently, Roma and Southampton have entered the mix to look at the possibility of signing Matt O'Reilly. But that is literally all that I have heard so far, to be quite honest. So, there you go. That's all I can really say. Any content is good content. Listen, I would never tell anybody what content to do or not do. Everybody has their preferences. Everybody has their... Listen, I get told constantly, why are you watching wrestling as a grown man? Well, because I like it. So if you like it, do what you fucking want. That's what I always say. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Must say you're good at talking pish. It's why it's my job. It's why it's my job. And then using Paddy Roberts. Oh, God knows. Don't know. Didn't expect to see his name pop up tonight. He's probably injured. That's the news. Let's see, we'll get a few more questions before I wrap up the stream for tonight. The most important position is a keeper. Would be good to have one tied down quickly, and hopefully I'll make more games this year. That season ticket wasn't much use. Yeah, keeper is we need to get a keeper signed. Keeper, left back, centre back. Go from there, and then we'll kick on hopefully. So, right, I'm going to wrap it up there tonight because I've hit the half-hour mark and I've enjoyed it. It's been a good one. As always, I love these streams. They're brilliant. So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I will be hopefully on the channel tomorrow. Please keep in mind that tomorrow and Saturday I will be away most of the day for Clash at the Castle on Saturday and SmackDown. And then I'm on commentary for ICW from midnight, from 1 in the morning till 3 in the morning, both Friday night going into Saturday morning and Saturday night going into Sunday morning. I'll be on commentary, which means I'm a very busy bee over the next few days. So if my content is scarce over the next few days, you know I'm busy, you know I'm doing things, but I will still try my absolute hardest to get stuff done before I am busy if there is news that deserves the attention. Absolutely enjoy your weekend if you don't hear from me. And God bless every one of you. Thank you for tuning in and making it an enjoyable stream again, lads. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.